At 2:47 a.m. on a Tuesday, I got a text from my wife. She was supposed to be in Las Vegas for a work conference. Instead, she sent me a picture of herself and her coworker, William, standing outside a tacky wedding chapel holding marriage certificates. Her message read, "Just married William. Been sleeping with him for 8 months. You're pathetic, BTW. Your limp dick energy made this so easy. Enjoy your sad little life." I stared at my phone, numb, for about 30 seconds. Then I replied with one word, "Cool." Before she could say anything else, I got to work. Linda had always been sneaky, but she was also bad with money. Everything was in my name, our house, our accounts, even her credit cards were just authorized user cards. By 3:15 a.m., I had canceled all her cards, changed every password she might know, and removed her from everything. Then I called a locksmith. It cost me $300, but I didn't hesitate. At 4 o'clock a.m., the locksmith showed up. By 5 o'clock, the locks were changed, and I had reset the garage code. I went back to bed and tried to sleep, though the quiet of the house suddenly felt heavier than ever. At 8 o'clock a.m., I woke up to loud knocking at the door. 2 police officers stood outside, looking mildly irritated. One of them said, "Sir, we got a call about a domestic issue. Your wife says you locked her out." I handed them my phone. "She's not my wife anymore. She married someone else 5 hours ago." The older officer raised his eyebrows, clearly surprised. The younger one tried not to laugh. "She's saying you stole her belongings and money," they added. I calmly explained that the house was mine, bought before we were married, and all the accounts and cards were in my name. I hadn't touched any of her stuff. They asked to see proof, and I showed them the text and timestamp. After a pause, the older officer radioed back, "Ma'am, this is a civil matter. If you got married to someone else, you need to take it to a lawyer. We can't force him to let you in." The radio screeched. She was furious. The officers left with a warning not to damage her belongings. I promised everything would be waiting for her, just not inside my house. Later that day, things escalated. Linda came back with William, her mother Barbara, and her sister Susan. William looked like he regretted every decision that had led him there. Reality must have hit hard when he realized Linda was now homeless and broke. Barbara screamed and threatened to call the police again. I reminded her how well that went last time. Susan called me controlling and unhinged. William tried to puff up until I mentioned I'd be sending their wedding photo to HR. Turns out their company has a strict no fraternization policy. Linda started crying, ugly, shaking sobs, and said I was financially abusing her. I pointed to the garage where all her stuff was neatly packed in boxes. "You've got 1 hour to take it and go," I said. She tried to use her credit card at the U-Haul place. Declined. William had to pay. His expression was priceless. That night, my lawyer called. Linda wanted to annul the Vegas marriage, claiming she was drunk and manipulated. She also wanted to claim rights to our house, since technically we were still married when she left. My lawyer actually laughed. "She gave you written proof of adultery and bigamy. She's done." Oh, and apparently William had been living in his mom's basement. He thought Linda had money. Spoiler alert, she didn't. But Linda wasn't done. She launched a social media campaign painting me as a narcissistic abuser who trapped her in a loveless marriage. Her mom and sister backed her up. Some mutual friends even believed it, until I reached out to David, my tech-savvy buddy. He helped me recover Facebook messages between Linda and William from over a year ago. In them, Linda bragged about playing the long game, hiding money, and preparing for her dream wedding with William. My favorite line? He's so stupid. I've been moving money from our grocery account for months. That grocery account? Just my account I let her use. I pulled the statements. She'd been pocketing cash for months. I posted the receipts. Her narrative fell apart. Then came the meltdown. She had her dad call my boss, accusing me of harassment. My boss already knew the story and told him to back off. She tried to break into my house at 3 a.m., screaming about her grandmother's jewelry, which her very alive grandmother was still wearing. Then she accused me of killing her cat. We never had a cat. I'm allergic. She even called my mom, sobbing that she had made a mistake and that William meant nothing. My mom, bless her, told her, "You should have thought about that before sleeping with him for 8 months, dear." Then came the craziest call of all. William's mother, Sarah. She begged me to take Linda back, saying William couldn't afford to be married and had made a dumb mistake. "Marriage is about forgiveness," she told me. "When you put it like that," I replied, "you sound insane." I hung up. That night, Linda texted me from a friend's phone. "You ruined my life. I hope you're happy." I answered, "I am actually. Thanks for asking." Then I blocked her again. The divorce hearing was the cherry on top. Linda showed up to court in a white dress. The judge looked baffled. Her lawyer argued the Vegas marriage wasn't real because she was under emotional duress. The judge asked what that meant, and her lawyer said William had made promises. My lawyer stood up and handed over 73 pages of Facebook messages showing Linda plotting the whole thing. The judge read a few lines, including, "Can't wait to see his stupid face when he realizes I took him for everything." The courtroom was silent. "What context makes that sound better?" the judge asked. Linda had no answer. In the end, the divorce was granted. She got her personal items, her car still under loan, and nothing else. She owes me 6 months of alimony because I paid for her certification program last year. Only $500 a month, but the look on her face was priceless. Outside the courthouse, her mom started screaming at me. Susan tried to throw her coffee at me but missed and hit Sarah, William's mom. The two moms got into a screaming match. Security had to break them up. And William? He didn't even show up. According to Sarah's yelling, he'd already moved on with a 22-year-old bartender he met at the casino bar during his wedding reception. Linda collapsed in tears, loud, messy sobbing. "This isn't how it was supposed to go," she wailed. Susan tried to console her. Linda replied, "I can't stay with you. Your apartment smells like cats and sadness." Even Susan looked fed up. Now, Linda's living with her parents. William's engaged again. Their company fired them both. Barbara's been banned from 2 Starbucks for harassing baristas who look like that bastard. Susan posted about cutting off toxic family members. Sarah is suing Linda for emotional damages. As for me, I sold the house for way over asking. I'm moving into a condo downtown. I started dating Jennifer from my gym. She thinks the whole thing is hilarious and brings me coffee labeled "Not William." My lawyer framed the Vegas marriage certificate and hung it in his office. Easiest case he's ever had. Do I regret being petty? Not one bit. She played stupid games and won stupid prizes. My only real regret is not seeing the red flag sooner. Like when she said her ex was crazy for changing his Netflix password after she cheated on him. Yeah, should have known then. Anyway, thanks for reading. I'm off to live my best life. P.S. Linda, if you're reading this, and I know you are, William's mom called you a gold-digging succubus at her book club. Just thought you should know. Cool. You know what this story really shows? That sometimes the best revenge isn't shouting or throwing fists. It's staying calm, setting boundaries, and letting the truth speak for itself. This wasn't just petty revenge. This was a man protecting his dignity, reclaiming control, and refusing to be the emotional punching bag 1 second longer. Linda underestimated him. She thought she could humiliate him and walk away clean. Instead, she torched her life while he leveled up. And honestly, that's justice. People think emotional resilience is silence or passivity. But sometimes it's one word: cool. That word hit harder than any fight ever could. Because when you've truly had enough, you don't beg or chase. You let them drown in the mess they made. If this story hit you like it hit me, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop your thoughts in the comments below. Have you ever had a moment where you chose peace over pettiness but still won? Let's talk about it.